in giving the floor to the British Prime Minister, Gordon Brown. Please.
Mr. President, members of the Parliament, for this special honour of an invitation to speak to you and for your successful presidency of the Parliament, let me thank you, Mr. President. And let me thank you, European parliamentarians and members of the European Commission led by President Barroso. It is thanks to the work of all of you and the generations whose work we build on that today we enjoy a Europe of peace and unity, which will truly rank among the finest achievements of human history and which is today a beacon of hope for the whole world. And if anyone in any country or continent is in any doubt about how the human will and the courage of representatives with a mission can build a new future out of past decades of despair, let them simply reflect upon how 60 years ago Europeans talked of enmities that were forever entrenched, relationships that could never be repaired. They talked of a hard, long and bitter Cold War. They did not believe it possible that our Europe could ever be fully at peace, far less it could unite and cooperate. And then let them think of how today, after years of cooperation and unity, none but those on the political extremes would question that we are stronger together, safer together than ever we are apart. On November the 9th this year, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of something that surely for each of us in this chamber must count as one of the most defining events of our lives, the fall of the Berlin Wall. It was a wall torn down by the resolution of people determined that no barrier, no intimidation, no repression would ever be again allowed to divide the people of Europe. And friends, today there is no old Europe, no new Europe, no East or West Europe. There is only one Europe, and it is our home Europe. So I stand here, proud to be British and proud to be European, representing a country that does not see itself as an island adrift from Europe, but as a country at the centre of Europe, not in Europe's slipstream, but in Europe's mainstream. And that is why I am also proud that by a large majority our British Parliament ratified the Lisbon Treaty. And I believe that we in Europe are uniquely placed to lead the world in meeting the wholly new and momentous challenges of globalisation ahead. We are uniquely placed because of what we have achieved in our Union. And I want to thank the members of this European Parliament. You should all be proud of what together we have achieved. The greatest and biggest single market in the world, now bringing opportunities to 500 million people. The most successful endeavour in economic cooperation anywhere in the world. And you should be proud that this is an achievement of the European Union. And you should be proud too of the comprehensive framework of environmental protection that we are building, a defining achievement of European coordination, with this continent the first in the world to set itself unequivocally on the path to becoming a low carbon economy. And you should be proud too that through the world's biggest programme of aid, the most sustained commitment to saving and changing lives anywhere in the world has been made by this European Union. So many of the consumer rights and workplace rights we all enjoy across Europe have resulted from the campaigns led by individual members and groupings of this House. And let us not forget that the European Union has the most comprehensive social protection anywhere in the world, a set of rights and responsibilities that was enhanced for the people of Britain when I am proud to say our government led Britain into the social chapter. Mr. President, these successes of Europe would have been impossible without the cooperation between peoples that you in this Parliament have delivered. Yes, we can see unity advanced by officials meeting officials across frontiers. Yes, we see unity when leaders meet leaders. But the unity that will last is the democratic unity rooted in the common values of people now represented in this Parliament. And more than treaties, more than institutions, more than individuals, it is these defining values that bind us closely together. Our belief as a European Union that liberty, economic progress and social justice advance together or not at all. These are the values rooted in the lessons we have learned by working together. The truth that freedom must never become a free-for-all, that markets should be free but never values-free, the belief that being fair is more important than laissez-faire. And we have learned again in this crisis that wealth is of no great value to society unless it serves more than the wealthy, and riches are of value only when they enrich not just some communities but all. And this is not simply our political philosophy. In Europe we believe these truths because we have lived them in the work we have done in our countries. So now, in the midst of a global crisis of a speed and a scope and scale quite unprecedented in history, I want to discuss with you how applying these values that are now part of our DNA, these lessons that we have learned over time in Europe, Europe and the world can rise to the four great challenges of globalisation. Financial instability in a world of instant global capital flows, environmental degradation in a world of energy shortages, extremism and the threat it brings to security in a world of unprecedented mobility, and growing poverty in a world of worsening inequality. And I want to discuss too how, with a global economy managed properly by us working together, billions of people in Europe, Asia and elsewhere, many just producers of their goods, can become tomorrow's consumers of our goods. How we can see over the next 20 years the biggest expansion of middle class jobs and incomes ever seen, and how, despite all the problems we have today, we can see ahead a world economy that will double in size, creating new opportunities for all of us in all our countries. So I want to discuss how we can build from a world which looks today unsustainable, unsafe and unequal, a truly global society which is sustainable for all, secure for all and fair to all. And let me repeat, I believe that the European Union is uniquely placed to lead in building this future, precisely because we have proved over the last 60 years that we as Europe can meet and master the challenges of cooperation across borders, of coordination between peoples and of building unity out of diversity. Some of you will know that for many years I have advanced the case for a global Europe and for the economic reforms to make it happen. I know that some critics suggested that I was supporting global action more because I supported European action less. But I have made this case so strongly in recent years precisely because I passionately want Europe to be leading on the world stage, and because I believe that the countries of Europe, having come together around values of liberty, fairness and responsibility, have so much to offer the world as it too comes together. I want to see a globalisation that is open, free trading and flexible, but which is also reforming, inclusive and sustainable. And that is the message at these most